Hello, welcome to TheAquaPhi, the ESPN of Science Fiction, your entertainment sci-fi programming network, TheAquaPhi. Hello, bonjour, buenos dias, hao sheng hao, zhao an, ohayo gozaimasu. This time we're talking about 007, the last Bond movie. No Time to Die. James Bond ran out of time, and so James Bond is dead, right? Because James Bond ran out of time. Now, the question is not who is the next James Bond, because James Bond is no more, right? So no other time did James Bond die, right? If you go down the list of James Bonds, there's of course, Daniel Craig, most recently, who ran out of time. You have Roger Moore, Sean Connery, David Niven, Pierce Brosnan, George Lazenby, Timothy Dalton, and as we just mentioned recently, Daniel Craig. But in all those James Bonds, someone else replaced. You had another James Bond, but this time he had no time to die, but he ran out of time, and so he is dead. So the question is not who is the next James Bond, right? It's kind of leaked in the movie. We saw the leak of what was going on. It's who is the next 007. That number 007 was given to Agent Nomi in the movie, right? Actress Lashana Lynch. And she said, it's just a number. 007 is just a number, so it'll be given to anybody. So the question is not who is the next James Bond because he ran out of time and no longer existing. The question is who is the next 007. So the franchise now becomes 007 and no longer James Bond. Now, of course, you're going to throw a fit, have your opinions. Oh, no, that can't be. Okay, then call me and let me know how James Bond keeps living, although James Bond died. But so, who is the next 007? The next 007 could be Hen Mai Chen. My name is Chen. Hen Mai Chen. Could be your next 007. The next 007 could be Margaret Philpot. Next 007 could be James McSween. Next 007 could be Jack or Savannah or John Rogers. Who is the next 007 is a question, not who is the next James Bond. Who's your all-time favorite Bond on that subject, since we're talking about both 007 and Bond, which was one and the same and now seems to have separated? Don't want to hurt the feelings of the Roger Moore, Sean Connery people, but more relatable to me is Daniel Craig. To me, Daniel Craig is the all-time 007. The action, the toughness, the knowing, no matter how dark it gets, he knows what's right and kind of keep it straight. You saw the full James Bond personality with Daniel Craig, strength, power, and all that as well. Now, he could have died in Spectre. To me, Spectre is my all-time favorite Bond movie, and there he could have died. He was fought out strength, out everything, but had a little bit of help, and that continued on in No Time to Die as well. Could have died earlier, but didn't. So Spectre to me is my all-time favorite Bond movie. The all-time favorite Bond actor, Daniel Craig. More relatable to me also, because I don't want to, your Sean Connery, Roger Moore diehards are going to say, "What? How? Who?" Well, anyway, not too relatable with Sean Connery, Roger Moore. I've watched them, seen about, but it's not. So I'm more relatable to Daniel Craig, and should have been relatable to Pierce Brosnan, but Pierce Brosnan doesn't fall into my list of who was your favorite Bond. I've kind of missed maybe a couple Bond movies because I didn't really catch Pierce Brosnan that well in a Bond role, where I've never missed a Daniel Craig Bond. Daniel Craig is the ultimate Bond. So now we're getting past the ultimate Bond and going into your 007 series, and who is the next 007. It could be, yeah, could be Han Mai Chen. Yeah, yeah. So the franchise is going to continue as 007. Of course, we linked to 007 with James Bond, and I believe the franchise is getting us off of that mindset to think more of 007 and less of James Bond. So what is your ultimate Bond movie? You know what mine is, Spectre, and yours is, yeah, let me know. And we'll talk about it on next, make some comparisons. Uh, Daniel Craig being the ultimate Bond of all time, Spectre being the ultimate 007 movie. You heard it here first on the ESPN of Sci-Fi, your entertainment science fiction programming network, the Aqua Phi. And don't forget to go on to theaquaphi.com. You can't forget to do that. Follow us on theaquaphi.com. Lots of interesting subjects, as you can see. Everything sci-fi we're going to delve into. Even what you might think, oh, Bond is not, James, 007 is not sci-fi. We're going to drag it into sci-fi because we can do that because we're the ESPN of sci-fi. So everything relatable to it, we will talk about it and bring it out on this podcast. So go on to theaquaphi.com, like us, follow us. We're on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, lots of YouTube videos. Subscribe, subscribe, subscribe. And did I say subscribe? Don't forget to subscribe in YouTube and follow us. Purchase the book, the TheAquaPhi, the AquaPhi. Purchase the novel. Surround yourself with AquaPhi gear in the AquaPhi merchandise area, and you'll really enjoy it. And you'll hear us talking constantly. We're going to keep this going about everything sci-fi that you enjoy. So let's look into this subject. Since you're reading the novel, The Aqua Phi, and you've watched Marvel Endgame, there's a reason why Thanos did what he did in Marvel Endgame. He thought it was logical, gonna carry it out because it's the right thing to do because of... So let's talk about this in our next podcast. There's something that the Avengers Endgame did not do that the Aqua Phi accomplishes. The Aqua Phi accomplishes it brilliantly. And then the Endgame, although in depth, let's say it's in depth, it brings out so much, missed on accomplishing this purpose. But the Aqua Phi does it. And so we'll talk about it in our next, and so I know you're going to be there. You're going to want to know what that is and discuss together. So in our next podcast, we'll talk about what the Aqua Phi does that Marvel, the Avengers Endgame did not do. All right, see you then.